In this video, I'm going to be breaking down Degen. I'm going to show you what pattern I see on this crypto, where I think it's going, and where I'm going to potentially be buying in. If you like this content, make sure you hit the thumbs up button and subscribe for more. Let's jump right in. So I came across Degen from some people on YouTube talking about these different coins on Coinbase's base platform. And there's a few that a lot of people have been talking about: Aerodrome, Degen, Alien Base. And so I took a look and saw what it was about. And of course, for me, I'm a technical analysis type of trader. So I immediately pulled up the chart to see what patterns were on Degen. And this pattern that I see on the chart right now is one that I see across crypto on a few different coins. And it gets me really excited because I think there's a lot of upside to be had. And that pattern is the cup and handle reversal pattern. If you've seen some of my videos recently, you know that I've broken down some other coins and tokens that have this same exact pattern. And one of the beautiful things about trading is that these patterns do show up every single day on different coins. You just have to be able to understand what they are, how they work, and where to get in so that you can capitalize on them. So let me show you how this actually shows up on Degen. So we have price coming down, making these lower lows and lower highs. But then we also start to get price turning around, basically making a U-turn down here at these lows. And it isn't a really sharp turnaround, it's more of a rounding. And so that's actually where we get this cup and handle pattern. And one way that we can draw this in is to come across with this arc tool, just like so, and then bring it down here. So now you kind of see the rounding that resembles the cup and handle pattern. One way, even without that arc tool, sometimes I will just take the brush and kind of draw in more closely. And so now we're actually testing what I like to call the lid. The lid is kind of this resistance level that is the top of the cup in the cup and handle pattern. So price literally came all the way down, started to reverse, and then we had price come up, and it's testing that resistance level that we had all the way over here in May and in June. And so in the cup and handle pattern, that's textbook. I mean, it looks just like this. We see price come down, make the reverse, hit that resistance level, and now we start what would be the handle pattern before we see the breakout. So what we still need is the handle to form, and we very well could be in the start of that right here with these red candles coming down. And so it could take us a few days to actually form this handle pattern before we start to see price continue up to the upside. But I want to give you kind of an indication of what I'm thinking, what could potentially happen. And so I actually want to draw your attention to this area right here. And so even inside of this rounding, we have another pattern, which is a triangle pattern. And with this triangle pattern, we usually have a resistance level that's set by price coming up, and then the series of higher lows kind of at an angle. And once it comes up close to this resistance level, we will usually see price either break out or it will actually break down. So price kind of chops a little bit as it comes up to this resistance level. And then, as I mentioned, we'll either break up or in some cases we will either break down. But in this case, we actually broke out to the upside. And in many cases, we will have price come up and retest. And so potentially we could see price, even though it made a nice run up, we could see price come back and retest this prior resistance level, which would then be support. And at the same time, it could be creating that handle that we need to see in this cup and handle pattern. And even in this textbook example, price comes down and, not that it was intentional, but you could see where price comes down and kind of retests that previous resistance level. Again, not to say that that's intentional, but it is totally possible for that to happen, especially with this triangle pattern that's happening. Price doesn't necessarily have to do that, but I am looking closely to see how both of these patterns could play out, how they normally do. Now let's talk about price targets. One way that we can measure a minimum price target for a cup and handle pattern is by measuring the very bottom, at the very bottom of the rounded part of the cup, all the way up to that resistance level. We take that and then we put it basically on top of what would be the handle, or really just on top of the resistance level. That creates a minimum price target. So that's what gets me really excited about this, because we're right near the point where, we're right there at the resistance level. We just need to wait for that handle, but let's go ahead and measure. And I usually like to measure from the middle and come all the way up to the resistance level. And so that is our resistance level. Let me just draw in a line right here. And so that is our measurement. And we would take that measurement and then bring it on top, and that would be our minimum price target. So we're looking right at about 25 cents, 24, 25 cents for a price target of this pattern. And so right now we are sitting at 2 cents, 2 cents, 2 pennies. And we're talking about this going up to basically a quarter, 25 cents. And so does that mean it's going to go up there? Not necessarily. This game is all about probabilities and understanding what the patterns typically do, but that's not a hard and fast rule. But if you ask me, I am looking at that as a price target. But I do believe, as I mentioned before, we're going to see price come down just a little bit more, either just a little bit or all the way down to this level here at around 1 penny, 1.1 penny. I think price will come down a little bit more, and I will be looking for a bullish kind of candlestick pattern formation to indicate that it's ready to continue to go up. But nonetheless, if we were to buy in, even just right now at around 2 cents, we will be looking at a 12x return on Degen if this pattern plays out. Now, if you ask me, a 12x is a lot, but we've seen that happen across crypto all the time. And so this is no exception. This could totally happen. And so if you ask me, where am I going to be buying in? I'm going to actually start dollar cost averaging right now. We're on the daily time frame, and so it's going to take a few days for this to play out to proportion, for this to kind of, make its handle. And it could be really short, or it could be a little bit more extended, but this is a good area, in my opinion, to be buying in. And so that's what I'm going to be doing. But of course, this is not financial advice. I always recommend you do your own research, analysis, and make investment decisions that you are comfortable with. And so hopefully through watching this video, you can learn from me and what I'm doing, but I'm just a guy on the internet. So I will be buying in dollar cost averaging just on the way down, or at least where I think this is going to continue to go down. And then once I see that bullish candlestick pattern formation or that reversal back up to the upside, then I'll probably be buying a little bit more. I want to make, a sizable, or at least, a good buy-in below this resistance level, so that way can continue to grow and lock in some profits all the way up to what I believe is going to be our price target of around 25 cents. Now, could the price go even further than that? Of course. But just looking at this cup and handle pattern, the minimum price target, that's what we're looking at. And if that plays out, if this plays out the way that we're thinking it's going to, then we'll go with that. And if the market shows us something different, then we'll analyze that along the way. So if you want to see the updates to this analysis, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a video. Thanks so much for watching. If you found it helpful, hit the thumbs up button. I will see you in the next video.